Why hitting is difficult. Take 1. We're going to take a minute and talk about why hitting is so difficult. Why is it such a hard task? Why is it that if you succeed 3 times out of 10 or at a 30% success rate, you're considered a success? Any other athletic endeavor or pretty much anything else you do, if you only succeed 3 out of 10 times, you clearly wouldn't be considered a success. But in baseball, you are. If you can get to that 4th success out of 10 and hit 400, you go into an elite group. And this doesn't mean just an elite group at the professional level. It is in college. It is at the high school level, at the amateur level. There are hundreds of thousands of pitching machines and batting cages around the country where people are working day in and day out trying to become better hitters. Yet the numbers still remain just about the same, the amount of elite hitters. In the major leagues, it's roughly 80 players to 150 players a year that will bat over 300. And that hasn't changed much over the years. And it's a hard thing to do. A few years ago in USA Today, they did a survey amongst 1,000 of the most elite athletes in the world. Players that are athletes from every sport, from rodeo, from downhill skiing, from the Winter Olympics, the winter sports, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, every major sport, surfing, every discipline. They did a survey and asked these athletes to rank what do they feel is the hardest thing to do out of any sports endeavor, any one physical act. What is the hardest thing to do? And the third most noted hardest thing to do was downhill skiing. Going down a mountain at 80 miles an hour was listed number 3. Number 2 was staying 8 seconds on a bull. Professional bull rider staying 8 seconds on a bull. And the number 1 hardest thing to do, listed by all the other athletes, not just athletes in their own sport, but in any sport, was hitting a baseball, hitting a 90-mile-an-hour baseball, being pitched and coming in at you. And it is very difficult because of 2 things. The main thing is the closure rate of the ball to you. At 60 feet 6 inches, when a pitcher lets go of the ball and it starts coming towards the plate, roughly a 90-mile-an-hour pitch comes at 0.4 of a second. So by the time that ball is on its way to you, 0.4 of a second, less than a half a second from release to contact. That's how much time has elapsed. Well, most swings take about 0.2 of a second to complete or get to contact. So you're having to decide if that's a pitch you want to hit halfway from the time the ball is out of the pitcher's hand to the plate, or 0.2 of a second. So that means at about 30 feet out, you're starting your swing, or you're beginning the motions of your swing at about 30 feet out. So that means at about 40 to 45 feet out, you're having to decide whether this pitch is a pitch that you're interested in hitting. And to make that kind of decision, I'm going to look at a pitch 35 to 40 feet away and decide where it's going to be when it gets here. And then put my bat in that position. That's a very difficult thing to do, and it takes an athlete who trains themselves to do that, to be successful at it. So your eyes focusing, and visual experts will tell you this, there's nothing in life that prepares us for a focal point that goes from 60 feet 6 inches to roughly 4 to 6 feet away from us. From our vision in less than 0.4 of a second. There's nothing that we do that has a closure rate of that, where we're focusing in at 80, 90 miles an hour, boom, from 60 feet to 6 feet. There's nothing that we do. A hockey goalie, perhaps, tracking a puck, a tennis player returning a serve, that sort of thing. But that would be comparable. But in baseball, that closure rate is very quick, and the eye muscles, they have to be developed, and you have to get a focus and the ability for your eye muscles to focus quickly, to focus smoothly, to track smoothly, not to be like a staccato where you jump around, and a lot of players have problems with that. Whenever anybody's hitting good, when they're on a hot streak, they always say the same thing. I'm seeing the ball really, really well. And you hear it in the big leagues. You hear it from your teammates. I'm just seeing the ball well. It looks clear. They'll say it looks big, that sort of thing. What that is you're relaxed. Your muscles are relaxed. The correlation between your eye muscles and your brain is very relaxed and clear. And the transmitters are sending those impulses and those images very smoothly and quickly to your brain, then your brain is reacting very smoothly with your muscles, and all together you're having a very relaxed and smooth swing. Relaxed muscles can be, when they're in an athletic position with energy in them, they can fire very quickly. A stiff, intense muscle cannot. From your eyes down to your muscles in your body during your swing, you can't be tense during your swing. So it starts with relaxing your eyes, relaxing your body, getting ready to hit. But that is one of the reasons that hitting is so difficult. The other thing is, to become a good hitter and to become a consistent hitter, it takes a tremendous amount of work. I mean, a tremendous amount of work. And most players are not willing to put in that kind of effort. I was talking with a player today, and he was a little frustrated. He says, every time I swing the bat, I think, even when I do it right, I know that maybe the next swing, there's going to be something wrong. There's going to be something wrong. And he was a younger player, and I had to explain to him that there's no such thing as perfection in what we do. There's no such thing as the perfect swing when all of a sudden you swing it, and then from that point forward, it's going to be perfect. That doesn't exist. You get into a place where your body's reacting well, and you train your muscles to react quickly. You train your muscles to work with each other. And that's the hard part about hitting. That's why hitters take so many swings. Even guys at the big league level, we talk with a lot of professional players. A lot of our former players are guys that you see in the All-Star game. And I know what they go through even today in a pregame workout. And I know the amount of swings that they take. And for them to take 100 to 200 swings a day is a normal thing. And these are players that are at the pinnacle of their profession. They're at the pinnacle of what we're trying to do, and they're still working that hard to maintain that kind of consistency. So that is one of the reasons that those are two of the reasons: vision, and you have to work very hard at it. The other thing is, which is a big detriment for a lot of players, is you're going to deal with a lot of failure. And you're going to get up there, and you're not going to succeed a lot of the time. And most players aren't willing to do something that they can't have a lot of success at, and almost no failure. That's why baseball players, hitters are very unique, and that's why pitchers are unique too. Pitchers are the same way. You go out there, you throw the ball, and you don't have a very good out, and guess what? 4 days from now, you're going to go out there again, and you better erase that, learn from it, and ready to move forward. So as baseball players, we have to have kind of short memories, long memories on the successes and short memories on the failures. And that's why it takes a special kind of athlete to play baseball and to be successful at it. So when you're starting to think about your regime for hitting and your approach to hitting, it has to be a long-range goal. You're going to have to look at it from a long-range plan of, I'm going to work today to get better this week. And I'm going to work better this week to get better this month. And I'm going to work better this month to get better this year. And you can even break it down into smaller increments. When you're in the batting cage, a lot of times players will be working, and they'll take a few swings and hit a couple good balls, and then they'll swing at one and get out of shape or be a little early, roll over, and they'll get frustrated. And you can't judge yourself on one swing. They'll take 10 good swings, take one swing, and get all frustrated and flustered. And you have to stop them and say, you just worked at a 90% success rate there. And if you can swing 9 times out of 10 successfully, you're going to be a tremendous hitter. But they're not used to seeing it that way. Most players are used to beating themselves up verbally and mentally, thinking that's what hard work's all about. That's not hard work. That's just self-abuse. You need to be able to work and be cognitive of what you're doing and how successful you are. If you would take 10, we'd like to break it down into groups of 10. 10 swings, and you judge those 10 swings. How many balls did I hit successfully on the nose, square it up on, and I felt comfortable that I did the right thing? How many out of 10 did I do? Then your next set of 10, judge it the same way. And the next set of 10, judge it the same way. And by saying that, I realize that some players only get 10 swings, and then that could be the end of their batting practice. Or they get 10 swings and they're out, and they wait 30, 40 minutes, and they get to take 10 more swings. When you're training as a hitter, you should be taking rounds of 40 and 50 swings and taking 6, 7, 8 rounds of that. So you should be taking 300, 400 swings. So it's very easy to get in there for a round of 50 and go 5 5 rounds of 10 and go, boom, that 10, how did I do? Oh, okay, pretty good. Boom, let me see if I can improve that. Let me see if I can improve that. Let me see if I can improve that. You might start off just with success 5 out of 10 times, 4 out of 10 times, 3 out of 10 times. But all of a sudden, as you do that set, you do 3. And all of a sudden, a couple sets later, you're doing 4 correctly. And then you get out of there. And then you come back in and hit again. And you're at 4. You're at 4. Over a period of time, you'll see where you're getting growth. And you are experiencing success. You might not feel like you are, but you are experiencing success. All of a sudden, you can get up to 6 out of 10 successes, 7 out of 10, averaging 8, 9. And before long, you're squaring up on the ball. And we like to say this. At some point, it's going to pass each other. Let me explain that. At some point, your worst swing is going to be better than your best swing used to be. Let me say that again. When you come in and start hitting, your best swing that you take, that swing, well, as you work and improve and work and improve, all of a sudden in your swings and in your rounds, you're going to take a swing that's poor, yet you feel is poor, but that swing there is going to be better than your best swing used to be. I hope that makes sense to you because it's very, very true. And we see players that beat themselves up and we'll have to pull back and I'll say, hey, hold on a minute. That swing you just took was better than any swing you took 2 weeks ago. And okay. And you should feel a little bit of success. You should feel a sense of accomplishment because hitting is a tough thing to do and you have to know how to measure your successes. And if you can do that, you're going to be successful at hitting because you're going to have incremental growth. Nobody becomes a good hitter overnight. It's a slow process. It's a building process. The reason that is, very important concept here, your body is always changing. You can get a swing and it's timed up today and you're perfect and you're ready to go. All of a sudden, a week from now, you come in and swing, it's not quite there. The reason being is, even within a week, the dynamics of your body changes a little bit. Okay? If you're not working out, your muscles forget what's happening. Okay? If you are working out and swinging every day, what's going to happen is you're going to get stronger. So the body that you're dealing with a week from now is not the same body you started with. You might be just a little bit taller. You might be a little bit stronger. You might have gained a pound or 2. You might have gained strength in some muscles. And all of a sudden, that's going to change the dynamic of your swing. Well, I got good news and bad news. Good news is you're going to be continually to get stronger. You're going to be continually getting stronger. And that's the good news. The bad news is you're going to always have to work on timing your swing and working on your swing because the raw materials and the strength that your body is giving is always giving you something different that doesn't match up with the swing that you learned. So as you continue to go, I hope you don't feel like you can get to a point where, all of a sudden I've arrived, I don't have to work anymore. Well, that really isn't how it works, okay? You're going to have to continually work. They take batting practice every day in the minor leagues. They take batting practice every day in the big leagues, okay? In professional baseball, where they're getting paid to play, they're taking the best athletes in the world, best baseball players in the world, and they're hitting every day. Guess what? You're going to have to hit too. You're going to have to swing the bat, whether it's in live BP, whether it's tee work, or whether it's just getting your bat out and swinging. Another concept that we're going to start moving into is your body and how your body reacts and what goes on within your body and your muscles as you're swinging. We'll get into that in our next segment.